Hey Lana, Hayden here from Pacific Toyota. Just want to run over this Hyundai Ascent Sport model with you. Look, a bit before I do so, a bit about us. So Pacific Toyota up here in Cairns, we run two large premium vehicle yards, this one being our main location at 251 Mulgrave Road in Cairns, which is obviously the main road here. Just running around. As you can see, we do offer flexible finance options with Toyota Finance. Obviously being a Toyota dealer, we use Toyota Finance, but the other benefit to it is Toyota Finance is actually the largest automotive financier in Australia. Across the road, we do have our service centre. As you can see, we're trying to stay green. We've got plenty of solar panels on the roof over there, as well as our Lexus of Cairns showroom and new vehicle showroom as well, just across the road there. So I just want to go around the vehicle, its general condition. Basically, I'm going to point out any faults in the vehicle, because at the end of the day, if you do purchase it, it's going to rock up and you are going to see them either way. So we want to be as fair and transparent as possible and address any concerns that you may have now rather than later. So just going to start by going over the front bumper. Look, this is the main area where we tend to find a few chips on the car. But just by looking over it prior, there is very minor damage. Only really stuff that I can fault. And these couple of marks here next to the number plate, and just a little bit down here on the bumper. But other than that, it's all in really good condition. It's a great looking vehicle. It's very vibrant blue colour. Sorry, I should continue this mark just over here as well. So all in all, nothing too major. But yes, quite a vibrant colour. I would call it most likely an exciting colour if anything. It's a brilliant vehicle. It's in great condition and really well looked after. As you can see, as I come around, there's no major marks on the car. All in really good condition. Just coming down that door line there. As for tread on the tyres, practically brand new. I reckon they'd be lucky to be a couple of thousand Ks on those tyres. You can still see the little knobbly bits still sitting on there, which wouldn't be the case had it done quite a few. Just coming around the alloy itself, there's no scuffs on this front rim here, which is handy. Like I said, the car's been really well looked after. There's only a few minor little blemishes, which I'll point out to you. As you can see through there, all very straight lines, no dent in that crease. And the mirror as well. There's a little bit of a scuff on the outside of the mirror. Like I said, any concerns, please let me know. Always happy to chat with management to see if there is anything we can address on the car. But the car's been really well looked after. It's a great vehicle. Once again, another little mark just here, but quite minor. Nothing too major. I can't really fault the vehicle in any way. Just opening up the car just to run over the interior as well. As you can see, the interior door card here, all very well looked after. Great car all round. Inside, it's got a nice layout to the dash to it. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very streamlined as well, easy to use, very user friendly. Carpets are all really well looked after. Seats, once again, got a nice little pattern to them. So once again, it's not a plain Jane car, being the sports model. Once again with the door card, all really well looked after. Perfect. Just coming across the floor in here, no major stains or tears. Just coming over the rear of the front seat here, or front passenger seat I should say, and then just the rear seat itself. As you can see, all really well looked after. Great vehicle, really hard for me to fault. I'm just going to do the roof while I'm here as well. So there's no major dents or anything, so every now and then you might see the odd rock that's flicked off a truck hit the roof, but I can't really see that on this car. All in all, really well looked after. Just coming down that rear pillar to where the fuel filler is as well. All very well. Okay, once again, probably not as much tread as the front, but still plenty of tread on these rear tyres. There is a little bit of a scuff mark on this rim here. Lens just come out of focus, there we go, as you can see across there. But all in all, really well looked after. Great vehicle. So I was going to give you a wide angle view of the car. There we go. Right, yeah, it's going to work my way around. So there is a few marks here just on this back bumper. just across here. Happy to look at a brush touch. Won't be like new, but it will just sort of take your eye off it, if anything. Just coming across that back bumper there, sort of up around the back of the boot. Once again, just finishing up the top of the roof there. Across the back bumper, this is the main area where you have stuff coming in and out, so to get the odd chip mark through here, pretty standard. But like I said, more than happy to give it a brush touch. Won't bring it up like new, but it will bring it up, I suppose, take your attention off it basically. It'll just blend a lot nicer. Decent sized boot in these, which is handy. You can never have too much space in a vehicle. Rightio. Just coming up there. So there's a very faint scratch through here. It's very minor, but once again, obviously being a pre-loved vehicle, it's going to have a few marks here and there. Just coming back down, once again, plenty of tread on these rear tyres. As for this rim, there's no gutter rash on it, so real credit to the previous owners there. Okay, just going to do the door card on this side as well. Perfect. All very well looked after. Just coming in behind the driver's seat and around that rear seat here as well. Very hard for me to fault. Okay, so we're going to continue down the paintwork on this side. I will point out any marks that I do see, but at the moment I can't really find any. Oh, I did find another little faint scratch through here. Once again, very faint. I'm just coming up over this front guard. And we've got the tyres turned, so I can show you the tread again on the front. Like I said, they're practically brand new tyres. As for the rim, there's no scuffs on this one here either. So very well looked after. Great vehicle. Okay, now for the main part, the driver's side. As you can see, it's all around very generally clean and tidy. Well looked after car. It's coming in around through the footwell here where the pedals are. Up under the driver's seat being the main I suppose traffic area. Okay, I'm just going to jump on in the vehicle as well. Turn it on. So as you can see, it's only done, what have we got on the clock? 35,847 kilometres on the car. You do have your cruise control on here as well as your, I suppose, your volume up and down and change of station controls all through there, which is nice and handy. You got your screen here and infotainment systems, so you've got all your radio. You can see preset stations to the side, which is handy. You then come down to sort of where your hazards are, how many seat belts are actually secured in the back, as well as your air conditioning system and whatnot through there. You do also have your USB, auxiliary and 12-volt power supply, gear selector, and your sort of two cup holders through there, and handbrake. With the service history, so the first service looks like it was done at 18,000 Ks, and then another one was done at 35,000 Ks, which brings us up to speed. Going by the sticker, the next one is due at 45,000. So being every 15,000 makes it nice and easy. You're not servicing them every 6 months. Then it's every 12, so just saves a bit of dollars. Just going to turn it off and do one real fast sort of long distance walk around to give you the general shape of the car, and then that will conclude the virtual tour for today. It's been an absolute marvellous day up here in Cairns. Beautiful weather. Being very spoilt at the moment weather-wise. Okie dokie, Lana. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call on 0410 839 933. I'll be more than happy to help and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much for your time. All the best.